I feel a presence in the Force. Oh! Whoa, hey! You must have been the presence I was feeling in the Force. Well, so glad that you're here. So, yeah. Just glad you're here, I guess. You got a minute to talk about Jedis? Greetings, friends, and welcome to another exciting episode of Matt's Minutes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. So just because of that, I was gonna make a Star Wars pun, but I don't want to force it. Throwback to my Zelda video where I did almost the exact same joke, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Today, we are going to be talking about something that I love, which I've loved every video that I've done so far and every topic that I've done so far, but whatever. Today, I'm going to be talking about Jedis. Specifically, who is my favorite Jedi, because it's a little bit of a complicated answer. It depends on if we're talking about Legends continuity, which is pre-Disney takeover and then retcon everything before then, or if we're talking post-Disney. So I'm going to give you both answers because, like I said, I love talking about Jedis, and clearly if we're talking about my favorite Jedis, then, that's like a double love right there. So let's get into it, starting with Legends. As I just said, from Legends continuity, we have Jedi Battle Master Kyle Katarn. For those of you that might not be aware, I will do the best I can to quickly summarize his backstory. He was raised by the Empire, he became a smuggler, he then realized he had Force powers, and then he used the Force, and then he found out the Empire killed his family, and then he did some revenge thing, and then he gave away his Force powers, didn't use them, went back to being a smuggler kind of a thing. Then his partner was killed, so he had to go back to the Valley of the Jedi and get his Force powers back, struggle with the dark side, then ultimately became the light, or joined the light side. Then he became second in command of the new Jedi Order, only by Luke Skywalker himself, who actually recommended Kyle well before this. So to carry Luke Skywalker's recommendation is pretty high honor. And then he became the Jedi Battle Master, which is like the second in command of the Jedi Order, and was usually responsible for helping to train the new Jedi Padawans that came in, as well as battlefield tactics. Now, Katarn, that was the shortest way I could put it. That was the absolute shortest. There's a lot that I skipped over. But anyway, the reason I love Kyle Katarn is actually because of his philosophy with the Force. It's very unique. So, because Kyle was both on the side of light and dark and Empire and rebellion and smuggler, he's been all over the place. Kyle's view on the Force is there are no such things as light side abilities and dark side abilities. The abilities themselves are not evil. It is the user. So, for example, Kyle Katarn could use a lot of Force or dark side abilities such as Force Lightning or Force Drain, Force Rage. All of these things Kyle Katarn could use, but he used them for good. Even Force Choke. He could use Force Choke to remove things from people's body. If they got shot, he can just, I'm going to take this bullet out. Force Choke it, pull it out. Force Lightning could be used to, I think one time he used it to recharge a battery. So it really did depend on how the user used it. And I loved that philosophy. Kyle was also an extremely good, what are those things called? Lightsaber. Yeah, lightsaber. Kyle was an extremely good lightsaber combatant, and pretty much knew how to do all 7 styles of the old Jedi Order and all the styles of the new Jedi Order, and had his own custom-made style that really, unless you were the top-tier duelist of your day, or of his day, you had no chance against Kyle Katarn. This dude was amazing, and I'm really sad he's not canon anymore. And now, for current Disney canon, my favorite light side Jedi is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Some of you were probably expecting somebody greater than that, but I digress. Obi-Wan's the best. At least to me, anyway. So, do I really need to go over his backstory? Probably not. So, let's just go into the reasons why I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. I believe it was Legends continuity that said this, so I don't think it's current Disney canon. But anyway, he was regarded by Jedi Master Yoda and Mace Windu as the greatest Form 3 Surisu specialist in the entire Jedi Order, including them. Let that sink in. Whether that's Legends or canon doesn't matter. They regarded him as better than them at this style. This is number 1 and number 2 of the Jedi Order. That's insane. For those of you that aren't aware, Form 3, Surisu, is a completely defensive style, which is both its strength and weakness, is that it's purely defensive. No offense. Obi-Wan, however, corrected this for his own style and had some offense included in his Surisu. Now, because he was so good at Surisu, Obi-Wan was pretty much the only one that could have taken on General Grievous. Because, listen to this, Grievous was hitting him 20 times a second. A second. And Obi-Wan blocked them. Yes, Obi-Wan struggled to do so because that's quite hard to do, but he did it. And then what did he do? Remember, like I said, Obi-Wan had some offensive capabilities with Surisu. So, while blocking Grievous, he then cut off one of his hands. So, Obi-Wan knew how to compensate for the lack of defense that Surisu normally has. Obi-Wan was also one of the best in the Jedi Order to take on Anakin Skywalker, who is pretty much an offensive juggernaut. This dude never let up his offense. So, what does Kenobi do? Never let up his defense. And it worked out pretty well for him. Even though Anakin was technically better than Obi-Wan at the time, Obi-Wan still came out on top and held his own. Just the fact he could hold his own is impressive. But also, I want to talk a little bit about about Obi-Wan's philosophy. Obi-Wan was very much I don't want to start things. You know, he never saw a fight as an ends to a goal. So if a fight arose, that's great, but beating his opponent was not the goal. If he's on an escort mission, his goal is to get this person from point A to point B safely. So, if a fight arose, that wasn't his overall goal. He could use the fight to his advantage, and, but ultimately, if running away was the better tactic, in order to complete his mission, he would find a way to do that. I love it. He was a tactical genius. And the man gave up so much of his life. I mean, think about it. Obi-Wan raised an apprentice he really didn't want to raise at first. The love of his life was killed, if Clone Wars stuff. He then had to go into hiding after fighting his apprentice, and I don't know if he thought Anakin died, but regardless, potentially killing his apprentice, went into hiding to watch over Anakin's son, and then had to give his life so that he could escape. This dude was so humble. And I just love Obi-Wan Kenobi for this reason. So much so that my very first lightsaber is Old Ben's. But yes, I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, guys, that's my opinion. So, what do you think? Do you think these Jedi sound absolutely amazing, and did I convince you they're the greatest things ever? Because that would be pretty sweet, but, I respect that you guys have your own opinions. So, let me know in the comment section down below, who is your favorite Jedi? Or, what did you like about this video? If you did like it, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date on all the latest content. We post new videos on Monday because Matt's Minutes on Monday is great for alliteration. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Also, shout out to Preston Reedy for giving me this amazing shirt. Since he edits all these videos, I figured he would see it. So thank you guys so much. Also, check out his channel if you haven't already, The Preston Perspective. He does great work over there. So thank you guys so much. May the Force be with you.